Hey guys, what's up? It's Iflin here, and today we're going to be talking about the Kuva Bramma. Now, I fully expect this thing to get some kind of nerf in the near future. I don't know how they're going to go about nerfing it, but it will probably get some type of nerf eventually, be it, they make it so that it knocks you down no matter what, or they nerf the damage, or they nerf the AoE. I think that this thing is going to get nerfed in some way, shape, or form sometime soon. Maybe not super soon, but sometime soon, because this thing is ridiculous. So if you don't know what the Kuva Bramma is, it's basically a explosive bow and arrow. You shoot out one arrow and then like little arrows fly out from it and then deal damage to enemies surrounding. So pretty good at just clearing rooms, being totally honest. The amount of damage that it deals is pretty crazy, and you get it from killing a Kuva Lich that actually has the Bramma. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking me recently, like, what is the best element to get on the Bramma? I would say getting heat, so then you can have viral plus heat damage. So you have the viral, which is going to increase the amount of damage you deal to the enemy's health directly, and then you have the heat, which is going to strip away armor that enemies might have, right? But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter which elemental type you have on your Bramma at base, because it's going to be insane anyway, as long as it's not like maybe magnetic or impact or radiation, something like that. As long as you can, freely build around the element that you have and use it to make corrosive. So let's say you've got toxin or electric, you can use that to make corrosive if you want to go for a straight up corrosive build. If you have fire, then you can use that to make corrosive fire, viral fire, whatever the case may be. As long as you can sort of build around the element that you have, it's going to be okay. But if you want to be that guy that min-maxes everything, then go for fire. And then if you want to as well, go ahead and pick up a toxin one as well. I'm using a toxin one in today's video because I haven't farmed up a fire one yet. So all the damage numbers and whatnot that you're going to see is with a toxin Bramma. So I've got two builds to show you guys. The first build is a Hunter Munitions viral build. So the normal sort of standard crit rifle build that we have going on normally. So we've got Serration on here for our damage, Split Chamber for multi-shot, Vital Sense for our critical damage, Point Strike for our critical chance, Malignant Force and Rain Rounds for our viral. Whenever that procs, it's going to increase the amount of damage we deal to enemies' health directly. Hunter Munitions is on here, so then we have the chance to apply slash procs whenever we deal crits, and then we've got a Prime Being of Corrupted mod on here, which is going to increase the amount of damage that our slash procs do whenever they actually happen to proc. So this here build is absolutely insane. We've also thrown on a Vigilante Supplies mod to help out with the ammo, because there is only 15 shots in your Bramma that you can carry at any given time, so you got to find a way around that. You can throw on any ammo mod on here that you really wanted to, so it's really up to you, but Vigilante Supplies is helping out with the enhancing critical hits, so that's really, really cool. So let's go ahead and spawn in level 110 Corrupted Heavy Gunners. Now, the reason we're choosing level 110 Corrupted Heavy Gunners is because these guys are like the highest level enemies that you're going to find in your casual gameplay. So your sorties and your Kuva Liches and whatnot, you're not going to get any higher than level 110 basically. And we have them paused as well, pausing the enemies in the simulacrum, using a primary weapon against them. Doesn't make them take any more damage, so you don't have to worry about stealth modifiers messing anything up here. So yeah, let's just go ahead, spawn these guys in, and you'll see how insane the Bramma is. Now check this out. So that was with one shot. We deal a lot of damage to a lot of surrounding enemies. Look at the amount of damage we dealt to that there guy on its own. Of course, you are sort of relying on the viral proc and the slash proc to finish off your enemies, but you're dealing a decent amount of base damage as well. And what you can do is you can just keep on shooting this Bramma into a group of enemies, and they're all gonna die. So just sort of generally shoot near the area of where you want enemies to be dead at, and then you should be good to go. They should all die, So a few shots with the Bramma, and that's it. Done. Easy. You're good. Let's just spawn them in again, and we'll just randomly spam from left to right while flying through the air, I guess. And you'll see that we deal a load of damage here. Pretty decent amount, right? Enemies die very quickly. That's 20 level 110 Corrupted Heavy Gunners. Not one, 20 of them. So that's crazy, especially whenever you take into consideration that the majority of enemies that are going to be spawning in are like Grineer Lancers or enemies don't have armor and stuff like that, those guys are going to die even faster. You're not even going to have to worry about them, to be completely honest. So these enemies just die. That's as simple as that. They just die. You get the viral proc on, so you deal more damage to their health. The slash proc kicks in, and then, you know, just let that damage over time finish them off. And then that's it, really. So you don't even have to be constantly shooting at them. Just like most viral crit hunt munitions beam builds, there is shoot a few bullets at them. Well, in this case, a few explosive arrows. Let a few clusters hit the enemies surrounding, and enemies are dead. So fully expect this to get a nerf at some point because of how crazy it is. Maybe they won't nerf it. Maybe they'll surprise me and they won't nerf it. But this weapon is really, 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 really good. It doesn't matter which variant you get. You can do this with pretty much any variant of the Kuva Bramma. It's crazy, right? But moving on to the more beginner-friendly build, Config B, it's more or less the same, except instead of running viral hunter munitions, we're running corrosive. So we got Infected Clip, Stormbringer, Hellfire for your corrosive and heat, then Point Strike, Vital Sense for crit chance crit damage, Split Chamber and Serration for your multi-shot and your damage, Vigilante Supplies, of course, for your ammo and then the enhanced crits. And then you've got a flex slot on here where you can throw pretty much anything you want on. So you can use, you know, whatever. I like to use my Prime Beam mods because that just lets me deal a little bit more damage. You can throw on another elemental mod. You can throw on anything you like, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and throw on my Prime Beam mod again. This is just your flex slot where you can throw pretty much anything on, right? So let's check out the corrosive builds. This one isn't going to be as insane, but you're going to notice that you're dealing like higher damage numbers whenever you hit an enemy, right? So if we just go ahead and we shoot at that guy, you can see that we deal just a pretty big number at base, but there's a lack of damage over time, right? So you're still dealing decent damage. You just don't have the fancy damage over time that kicks in with the other build, right? So realistically, it is damage over time build versus non-damage over time builds, and this one is just like straight up raw damage. So this would be the one that I would shoot for if you don't have your beam mod, if you don't have your hunter munitions and stuff like that, because the other builds, this here build, config A, that was my goss. Config A doesn't really work unless you have the Prime Beam of Corrupted on, because this is really enhancing the amount of damage that you deal with the slash procs coming from hunter munitions, right? So if you don't have Prime Beam of Corrupted or Prime Beam of Grineer, Prime Beam of Corpus, whatever the case may be, then it's probably not worth using this build, and instead it's probably better off using the config B because you just get more damage straight up. So it's really down to you which one you want to use. You could definitely still chance using this here build without the Prime Beam, but it's up to you what you want to throw on after the fact, right? So you could run your fire mod in place here, actually. So if we go ahead and we run let's run the status chance one, actually, because that'll make more sense because we are looking to proc viral, right? So we go ahead and throw that there on. You can see that we got viral and heat. So let's try out the hunt munitions build without the, what's it called? The beam. It still deals pretty good damage, but it's not as crazy damage over time. So it's definitely still usable. It's just down to you whether or not you think that having less effective damage over time is worth it over straight up potentially one-shotting an enemy with the other build, right? So it's entirely down to you which one you use. Personally, like, I prefer the damage over time just because, like, I like being able to shoot at my feet and then move into the next room and do the objective or whatever. Because how I'm usually using the Bramma is I'm using Gauss, right? So explosive weapons now knock you over. For some reason that didn't knock me over, probably because I'm invincible. Let's turn that off. These knock you over now, right? So any explosive weapon in the game is going to knock you over. But if you turn on Gauss's 2, you're knocked down immune, right? So if you pair Gauss's 2 with Gauss's 4 and the Kuva Bramma, well, we've got increased fire rate, increased reload speed, knockdown immunity. You can kind of just, you know, fly through any mission and just shoot at your feet, like so. And just constantly keep on spamming the Kuva Bramma at the grounds. And then everything's gonna die, right? So that's how I've been using the Kuva Bramma. Let's just go ahead and try that same thing out with the other non-damage over time builds, right? 2, get enough energy for my 4 here. There we go. Probably would help if I spawned in the bad guys too. There we go. We jump over to the bad guys. Shoot at our feet. You can see that we still deal pretty decent damage. So no matter the build that you choose, as long as you're using the right Warframe, for example, to accommodate that blowy uppy playstyle, I guess you could say, well then you're gonna get on just fine. You can use Nezha with his free, you can use Rhino with his iron skin, you can use Revenant with his mesmer skin. Hell, you can even go as far as to throw on Prime Surefooted if you really have enough space in your build to do that, and then use whatever frame to you know, just murder things with the Kuva Bramma. But with all that being said, hopefully that concludes everything that I need to show you with the Kuva Bramma. It's an absolutely insane weapon. Wouldn't surprise me if it got nerfed sometime soon. If they don't nerf the Kuva Bramma directly, they'll nerf something that accommodates it, such as, you know, the stagger immune from Gauss's 2. Personally, I wouldn't like to see the stagger immunity from Gauss's 2 get removed, or Nezha's free or whatever. You know, I wouldn't like to see any of that get taken away because self-damage just doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, the Kuva Bramma is insane. Go get a Kuvalich, go pick one up. It's a nutty weapon, and you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't have one at this moment in time. So get it before it gets nerfed, if it gets nerfed. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more Warframe content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.